Hi YouTube, it's Miss Side, and this is my video talking about my experience at Aveda Institute. First and foremost, I live in Michigan. The Aveda Institute here is owned by Douglas J, so it's called Douglas J Aveda Institute. And I chose them because it was a couple different things. Everything was pretty much structured. When you walked in, you were presented properly, the packet they gave you, the material they gave you, everything seemed on point. They seemed like they had it together. Their kit was really, really nice. I was torn between them and Paul Mitchell. I actually was going to go to Paul Mitchell instead of going to Aveda. I had a last minute change of heart because at Paul Mitchell, they did not allow you to receive your refund money. Like if you had excess money from financial aid, you couldn't receive that money until 1,200 hours, which is pretty much close to graduating, because here in the state of Michigan it's like 1,500 hours to graduate. For me, because I was quitting my job, I have 3 children. I am married, but because I have 3 children and I was quitting the income that I did have, I kind of depended on getting that refund check sooner than 1,200 hours. So that was the last minute decision. I was torn between both of them, period. But that's what kind of strayed me away from Paul Mitchell. So I chose Aveda. When I first started there, it was really, I had a ball. I was in love. I mean, it was my passion. I was learning new things. We were in what they call phase intro. In an intro, it was a classroom setting. We did not do clients' hair, nor did we didn't service the public, I should say. We just worked on our mannequins. We learned new cuts. It was a lot of book work. One thing I could say for people who think that cosmetology school is a better option than going to college, or I don't want to go to college, so I'm going to choose cosmetology school. Make sure this is your passion. Make sure this is something that you love to do, because if it's not something you love to do, this is challenging. It's challenging even if it is something you love to do, but your passion kind of oversees that. It's hard work. It's not simple. It's not easy. It's not a cakewalk. You think a hairstylist, oh, cosmetology school, you ain't doing nothing all day but cutting hair. No. You have to learn about the sciences of the hair, the scalp, the different skin disorders. There was a more chemistry, biology, science terms than I thought it would be. And I'm not that kind of girl. But I overcame that. I succeeded with my studies and with my grades, and I am glad that I learned those different things about the hair follicle and the different strand and how it breaks down, because that helps me today as a licensed cosmetologist. Yes, I am licensed. As a licensed cosmetologist, when I'm dealing with my clients and I'm looking at their hair strand and the hair shaft and seeing, and I can assess and give them a proper consultation on what's going on with their hair and how we can repair it. So I enjoyed that moment of it. We stayed in the classroom setting for 350 hours. After that, we went onto the floor. When I first started at Aveda, I was a night student, so it's part-time. It was Monday through Friday from 5 to 10. That got overwhelming, going to school 5 days a week from 5 to 10. It did. I am a mother, so in the daytime, I would wake up early in the morning, get my kids to school. I have a 2-year-old daughter, so I would get back home, get my daughter together, try to get my house together. Then it just seemed like by the time I got her to take a nap, it was time to go get my boys from school. And then I had to rush back home, drop them off, and then rush to school. So it was like constant, you know. And then I didn't get out of class at 10 o'clock and didn't get home at 10:30 at night. By the time I get home at night, there's mommy duties still. So I just felt like it was so much on me, which I thought being a full-time student would be more on me, but it just felt too overwhelming because it was, my day never ended. It was non-stop all day. So the first section, which is our alpha unit, that's your first phase when you get on the floor. You do get a lot of clients. That's another reason why I chose Aveda Institute, because they have a lot of clients. The clientele is it's a lot. Like, you service so many people throughout the week, and especially on nights. And for me, I wanted to actually be working on a head. I didn't want to be working on a mannequin head. I wanted to experience every different head shape, every different hair type. We did a lot of coloring and a lot of cutting. That was primarily what I did. Color, cut all day long. We got a couple of other services, but the majority was color and cut. So I felt I was well versed with that when I came out of school. So on the floor, and it can get overwhelming too, because you're a student, you're not getting paid. At our Aveda here, you're not allowed to receive tips, and you're up for a long period of time. Like, I would get girls with hair all the way down to their butt with highlights, fine weaving, full head highlights from the nape to the crown. That would take me from 5 to like 9:30 on my feet. And with the foils and all of that, you don't realize how hard that is on your body. It got overwhelming at a certain point, but I mean, it's kind of what I asked for. So I wanted to be busy. I wanted to be on heads. So I got what I asked for, definitely. So I'm not necessarily complaining, but I do feel it became a point where they forgot that we were students, and they made it like we were more so employees. It was more about the client than me getting a learning experience out of it. Don't get me wrong, I'm big on customer service, so I'm always going to service the client to the best of my ability. But at the same point, this is a school, this is a learning institution, and I'm supposed to be getting something out of this as well. And there were plenty of times where I felt that was not the case. However, that was the best school in this area, I feel, for me. After my first unit on the floor, I switched to days, which I went into the second unit, which was beta. Days was a whole nother world. It's a lot more younger girls, a lot more immature girls. Nights, we did have some young girls on nights too, but they were, I felt, more on a mature level, more responsible. The days was like the Mean Girls movie. Those girls, yeah. So that was stressful. On top of the instructors were stressed out, and it was just so much at a point where it did become overwhelming, because the instructors felt they had to watch everybody, and they were tense because there was so much drama going on in the school. I was able to stay away from it pretty much. I'm 30. I'm a lot older than some of the other girls that were there. And I'm 30, but my maturity level, I feel, is so surpassed even that. So I just couldn't process some of the childish things, and I just stayed to myself a lot. It did get harder for me on days, because not only on top of the stress of being a mother, I was, being married, going to school full time now. I had to deal with the drama. And not necessarily me dealing with it, but just hearing it. Hearing the ignorant conversations. Hearing the disrespect. That, it weighs a toll on you at a certain point. So, there were days where I just didn't want to go, to be honest. So, I did the second unit. We got out of that unit and went to our third unit, which is called Gamma. Gamma went by pretty fast. For me, because the opportunity presented where I could work on a movie set, and I got to do hair and makeup on a movie set instead of going to class. So instead of me servicing clients at the school, I would go to the movie set and do hair and makeup for the movie. And that was really fun. It was a different experience for me, because I said I wanted to do that type of work. I wanted to work on movie sets. I wanted to do hair for like fashion shows and print work. So that kind of gave me an insight of, is this what I really want to do with the hair industry? So that was really exciting. I had took a special effects makeup class Prior to that, there was a gentleman who came to our school and offered a class for us at a discounted rate for students. I took that class, and thank God I did, because I ended up having to do special effects on this movie set, and they did not have a real special effects makeup artist. It was me doing it, and that was just an amazing experience. I got to turn this man into a vampire. I made plaster ears and totally transformed him, and that for me was really exciting. And then in the movie, he also had cancer, so I got to put a ball cap on him. So that was the highlight. Oh, of course, when it was time for me to go back to school, the drama was on, because how dare you get this opportunity and I didn't. But I knew how to handle that. So if you're one of those type of people who know how to handle those scenarios, you'll be fine. When I got back to school, my gamma unit was almost up, and it was time for Salon Life, which is the final phase. In Salon Life, basically, you've taken all your tests, you passed all your classes. Oh, and also when you're on the floor, you do go to class one night a week. But the rest of the 4 days, you're on the floor. But when you get in Salon Life, you're no longer in class. You've finished all your tests, and you're just there working the rest of your hours to graduate. So Salon Life was actually very laid back. It got really boring in Salon Life because they try to give all the new students, the clients, like the first unit students. So they get majority of the clients. Once you get to Salon Life, you just pretty much get requests, and you do get some walk-ins. So it was pretty boring in Salon Life. I kind of was just waiting for it to be over with at that point. I wanted to be done with it. But the cons of the school was the instructors and the administration, I felt, held grudges. If they were mad at you, if you called in for the day, you couldn't get to school on time, and they had to move around some appointments on your behalf, they took it out on you. You best believe, because we were supposed to be out of school at 4:30, they would give us 4 o'clock appointments, 3:30 appointments. And we're supposed to be done at 4:30, and we cannot go over that 4:30 mark because State Board does not allow you to do that many hours in a day. So if you're still sitting there, you're just giving them free hours. Me, on the other hand, I would tell them it's 4:30. My instructor's going to finish you up. I'll be very polite about it. And start packing up my station and letting my instructor take over. Some girls did not do that. So that part I did not like about it. I was frustrated about that part. This was a school, but they operated as a business. And to a certain extent, I feel like it should have been evened out a little bit. They treated us as employees and not as students. It became no longer a learning experience. It's get these clients in and get these clients out. Services, client, which is good experience for us because we do need that in the real world. But let's not forget that we are still students. We are still learning. This is not all about just the client. You're actually getting more money from me as a student than you are from the $16 haircut that I'm doing. So that part for me was a little hard, but overall, there was no other school I would have went to. When I started taking classes at other schools, other like people that would come and offer different cutting classes and stuff, and I would see people from other schools, their cutting skills were not the same as mine. Their blow drying skills were not the same as mine. They didn't even understand the terminology of different angles and the different haircuts. They didn't even understand any of that. And so for me, I knew that I chose the right school at the end all. Is every school perfect? No. So I'm not going to present that there is some perfect school out there. There are going to be pros and cons to every school. You have to find a school that fits you. And for me, that was the best school. I heard stories about the other schools. I knew that they did not have clientele like we had, so they were just sitting there doing nothing and not gaining any experience in what the real world would be like. Even when I took my state board, it was a breeze. My school actually prepares us, and I've been told that state board is a lot harder on Aveda students because we go over the test 4 times. Is it 1, 2? Yeah, 4 times, I think. Yeah, we go over the test 4 times. And I heard other schools only like do it like for a week or so. So we were really prepared for state board, and everyone that I knew that took state board right after they graduated passed. Now I have heard of some people who did not pass, but it took them like 6 months to a year to take it. Well, you're going to forget that stuff. I'm going to be 100% honest, because state board is very tedious. Follow directions, following this order type of scenario, and you will forget that stuff if you try to wait 6 months to a year. You're going to forget it. You're going to get out there, start working, and time for you ain't thinking about state board. When you get to state board, you're going to forget everything that you learned. So it's best to do it as soon as you get out of school. And I passed with flying colors, and everyone else that I know who took the test right after they graduated passed. There's maybe 2 or 3 people I know that waited a long time. And of course they didn't pass because they forgot everything. So I passed the test with flying colors, had no issues. When the practical part was a bit intense, but I mean, I survived it. And the theory portion was really easy. I think they gave us 2 hours to take tests, and it took me 25 minutes, and I was done. So I hope I gave you guys all the information that you were asking for. If you guys have any other questions, or if I get a lot of questions about the same particular scenario, I will probably do another update video. I'm sorry this took me so long to do this video. I am sorry it took me so long to get back to you guys on YouTube, but it has been a strenuous year. But I am going to be more dedicated to doing more videos, doing more hair tutorials, hair care videos. I'm trying to come up with different, themes to talk about. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. Please rate and subscribe. And see you guys soon.